let's get as cozy, really and truly. That invitation is there every morning for the first part of our practice. It's like, what do you need? How can you take a moment to slow down and rest? How can we give ourselves permission to listen not only to the rhythm of the season, right, which says darker, less light, earlier darkness, colder weather, a little cold breeze, sometimes rain, sometimes just cold temperature to the skin. How can we allow that shift of the season to be a reminder that even though we have things that we need to show up for and we have actions that we need to take, that this time of year also asks us to slow down a little. And sometimes that's as simple as coming to rise and shine and just bringing that mindfulness and that slow energy before you ramp up into bigger things, right? And this idea of rest and slowing down is not just about the season, it's also about how we collectively, especially within our culture here in the US, there is a collective hurriedness that we somehow all got subscribed to, but don't remember subscribing to that newsletter. Do you know what I mean? But it's around us always, the frenzy, the hurry, the go, the push, the drive, the hustle, right? So a reminder that when we show up in order to slow down, that we're actually being counterculture. We're going against the grain of what most of our workplace and Target and Amazon, that's even a better example of it, what Amazon is showing us, right? And I'll remind you that there are so many benefits to slowing down. And when we slow down, we're able to better listen. And I will say, though, that sometimes when we start to listen, sometimes things that we don't necessarily want to hear come up, right? We're like, ooh, I got that little pain in my knee. Or, ooh, I've been having a little too much wine at night. Or, ooh, I actually am very unsettled right now, right? And that's part of the busyness is to distract us, to keep us from attending to what's actually really important underneath it all. So just a reminder that sometimes when we slow down, the listening feels good, and sometimes the listening is hard. I want you to breathe into whatever comes up for you as you slow down. And I want to remind you of the power of naming whatever comes up for you, not being attached to it, not getting sucked into the energy of it, but just the simple act of naming. So noticing for yourself this morning, is there tiredness? And is it the tiredness that is because you didn't sleep well? Or is it the tiredness because you've been pushing and pushing and pushing? And just name that for what it is. Don't get attached to it again. Just name it. And then notice, is there any hesitation? Is there any anxiety there? Is there any hope? Is there any sense of connection? Is there any sadness or loss? Whether that's of a person or of a job or of part of your old identity that you're no longer relating to. Is there any contentment? Is there any irritation or anger? Is there any insecurity or fear? Is there any sense of accomplishment and pride? And then just notice anything else that comes up for you and just simply name it. Don't get attached. Just name it. And then take another big clearing breath in through the nose, maybe allowing there to be an audible sigh as you exhale. And oftentimes, when we experience what we consider unpleasant emotions, which emotions by nature just are signs and signals as to our experience and choices that we might make, but we get really caught up in them sometimes, right? Oftentimes, when we're experiencing the ones that feel unpleasant, the ones like frustration or anger or sadness or grief, etc., it's because we've lost a sense of connection, first and foremost to ourselves. So, in this moment, right here, choose to connect, just like you're doing. Just the simple act of naming your emotions, connect to your experience. Don't get attached to it, just connect to it. And then connect to your breath. This is your breath. This is your lifeline. Feel into the rhythm. Allow that rhythm to be comforting in your connection. It doesn't matter how fast or slow, how deep, how shallow, anything. Just the simple act of the breath happening. Connect to that. And then connect to your heartbeat. And you might even put your hands over your heart and push a little bit more firmly to feel the rhythm of your heart. Seek out that connection. Seek out your aliveness. And take another big breath here. And then connect to the edges of your body. Notice where your skin ends and the air begins. And feel a sense of connection to the perimeter of your body. That everything from your skin inward is all yours. Connect to all that miracle, all those miracles, those many miracles that are working in tandem to give you this human experience. And if it feels good to offer some little wiggles of fingers of toes, just to kind of feel into some of those edges, awesome. It feels good to land your hands and actually make contact with your skin with a sense of touch. That's a really beautiful way to be in connection with yourself, with your body. And notice how it feels to be in connection with yourself, right? As we slow down and listen in. And we know that when the day starts to happen, mine included, right? When things start getting busy and all those to-dos happen and we can feel the rush around us, that we have created this sacred place right here that we can return to. Sometimes it's just hands over heart in one breath that we need to remember. So I want you to really mark this feeling right here, this presence with yourself, this connection to yourself. As you're ready, we'll take the hands today into Namaste, pressing the palms together. Allow the thumbs to rest like little hummingbirds that sit for just a moment to rest their wings. Feel your hands equally pressing, unless your hands are cold this morning, which sometimes happens during this season. Feel the warmth of your hands touching. Feel that sense of contact. And ever so lightly bow your head in towards your heart. And really and truly, wholeheartedly, sacredly, thank yourself for showing up to your practice today. That in the tides of breakfasts and emails and all those other things, crossword puzzles, those were my mama, that you have made time to start with slowing down and listening in so that you can start to deeper honor yourself.